municipality, individual, or anyone or anything.
He's a surgeon. He's a 100-ton boat captain. He's a lieutenant on Seaside Heights Beach Patrol in New Jersey. He's a member of the Coast Guard Auxiliary. He's Dr. Michael Kachmar. Need answers to your medical questions? We have them. Listen in to hear latest on medical topics related to all that and more.
Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Michael Kachmar. Welcome to Scrubbing Up with Dr. Michael Kachmar. How are we doing today, Jeremy?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you doing, Mike?
Good. Jeremy, can you just check up there? I don't see the thing up there, so I don't know what you're doing. There we are. Oh, no, go over. Just check see if we're viewing there. Hello, everyone. So I'm Dr. Michael Kachmar. This is Scrubbing Up with Dr. Michael Kachmar. Today's date, I don't even know today's date. Today is November the 13th, the year of our Lord, 2024 AD. Welcome, everyone. So I'm a doctor of podiatric medicine. I'm a board-certified reconstructive foot and ankle surgeon. Our show is, we've been going up about 4 years. We do a medical, political show.
We've been going up way more than 4 years. Right.
Anyway, we got Jeremy. Jeremy, you want to say hello?
Hey,
you got
guys,
a close-up
how you
there.
doing?
Jeremy, why don't you put your name there? I got your name up there for you, so if you want to do that.
Let's
pop Jeremy. So that's Jeremy.
Hey, it's your old pal, Jeremy. You know me.
So anyway, thank you for tuning in and watching us. We're still all, all excited about this election and the results of the election. And we've been talking about it, what's going on. Now, it's kind of like it's interesting. It's sort of like when the scene of the crime. Now we're actually seeing what went on.
Oh, that's all going to come out now.
Right, right. And it's coming out now.
Yeah.
And what went on. And I want to talk about a couple things that went on that are unbelievable to me. So we talked about this, and I can't believe this, because, a lot of people, they're doing their life, they got their kids, they got their work, and, they hear about this immigration, they see the people getting murdered in the country by these illegal aliens. But I found out this one thing here. It's called the CPB-1 mobile app.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is, just follow me on this, and we're going to go to my iPad in a minute.
This is messed up stuff, guys.
So this is out of the U.S. Custom and Border Protection. So the Biden-Harris administration actually put together an app that you could use anywhere in Mexico, get on the app, and you could basically go to, get on the app, put your application in, and what's the matter, Jeremy? And go, and go. Can you better for you now? Yeah. And go anywhere in the United States. I mean, I guess you could go to the border, or they fly you in. So they were flying flying people in from Mexico and wherever into the United States, direct flights. They were doing that. Also, you could fill this app. You apply, they okay you, and they get you to the border, and they bring you in. Now,
so they were doing this. They were doing this the whole time.
Yes.
Flying them by
millions,
nighttime,
hundreds of thousands,
under the shadow of night, and all this time they had an app that made it all possible.
Now, here's the thing: they weren't talking to the governors,
right?
And unless the governors, I didn't ever heard any of the governors say we were told. They definitely didn't talk to the mayor. They didn't talk to the mayor of New York City.
It's not exactly like they were advertising this app either.
They were advertising it to them down there.
To them down there, yeah.
Right,
but I'd like to know how much in marketing was spent
I'm just
on that type of advertising for them, for this app.
Well, here's the thing, Jeremy. You talk about this app. The United States citizens paid for this app.
Yeah.
And there's another thing that's here that is going to come out now, and it's these NGOs. And a lot of them are
NGOs, layman terms.
Non-profit organization, NGOs. These got money, they get paid from the United States. So what they did is the Biden administration, Harris-Biden administration, would pay these NGOs, non-profit organizations, a lot of them were Christian and religious, to bring these people up here. So it was a business. Here's the interesting thing about this. This became a big business. Think about, you have people coming in who are... the airlines are making money. The hotels are making money.
Sure.
Maybe some of the towns are making money. The NGOs are definitely making money, and the cartels, the Mexican cartels are making money. So everybody's making money. So let's just check this out. So go to my iPad. It's all around the bottom one right there. Hit that. So this is interesting. So this is on for people who are on Spotify or our podcast. You got to go to our YouTube or Rumble.
Yeah.
So here it is. This is
the video
this is
there.
an article. This is right out of the U.S. Customs and Border Protection webpage, and it's called CBP1. It's trademarked actually, mobile app, and this is going on here, and it'll tell you where people could be, where they could meet. Now here's a diagram of. So here it is. This is a map, right? Basically, it's all of Mexico, all the way to Central America.
What's the name of this thing again?
It's called CPP1 mobile app. C as in Charlie, B as in boy, P as in Peter.
Right.
One mobile app. And here it says right here, Mexican nationals are able to request an appointment from anywhere within Mexico. So this app is hooked up to, I guess, the internet, and you could anywhere you could find out where it is. It says as of Friday, August 23rd, 2024, non-Mexican immigrants are able to request and schedule appointments from the southern Mexico states, in addition to the existing ability to request and schedule an appointment for northern and central Mexico. So it's not only where you're at. So in other words, anywhere in Mexico, this app will work. Right. And you don't even have to be a Mexican. You can be anything you want. So this is a good here. What is the CPP1 mobile app? On October 28, 2020, U.S. Customs and Border Protection launched the free mobile app on the Apple app and Google Play stores.
Right.
So now they're complicit with this also, right?
Yeah.
So this application that serves as a single portal to a variety of services. Through a series of guided questions, the app directs each type of user to the appropriate service based on their needs. As part of the app's comprehensive effort to improve the security of our nation's borders while enhancing legitimate travel, provide increased accessibility and transparency to some of the most utilized. Okay. So port of entry, it goes on this whole thing here. And, it's got in different languages, and check border wait times, check your trusted traveler program status, I-94 entry for travelers. It goes on and on and on and on. So we've been paying for this, and you want to wonder why. Okay, Jeremy, you got something you're trying to?
Yeah, I'm pulling something up.
So all of this has been going on for years now, and this is all going to come out. So they had this operation going on, which is amazing. Now, as an American citizen, did you buy into this?
No, I didn't.
It's one thing open up the borders; it's another one facilitating them. So they not only opened up the borders, but they facilitated this,
right?
Which is just downright. I don't get them. I don't understand why the Democratic Socialist Communist Party wanted to do this.
Right.
Why Biden and Harris would do this to our country. And you say, oh, it's no big deal. No. One of the things that's happening with this, Jeremy, go back to me, please.
Yeah.
One of the things that's happening with this is that this thing here, you're letting in a ton of people who are not vetted.
Right.
Now, I just showed you a statistic the other day, 34% increase in the past three years of tuberculosis in this country. Mm-hmm. 34% increase in tuberculosis. And on top of that, if you look at New York City, the new cases of tuberculosis, 86% of the cases of tuberculosis are in people who are immigrants, recent immigrants. Right. So they're bringing it in. If you cough for sneeze, you could catch tuberculosis. So you're talking about spreading a lot of disease. You talk about corona. You forget it. You got tuberculosis. I don't know. Haiti has. Now, we got a lot of people in this country with Haiti, right? They're eating the cats and all of that. Yeah. So, by the way, the cats are safe now. Trump got in. So he's going to save the cats.
What about the dogs?
No, well, dogs.
Not yet.
But, so the Haitians have 60 times more tuberculosis. Okay, 60 times more tuberculosis. And AIDS too, actually. I don't know what percentage. And these people were letting this country. Did anybody check them? Did they get an X-ray? Did they get tested? No, I don't think so. But this is interesting. Now, what has this, say, what's the big deal, Mike? Why are you so worried about, what has it caused? And so I'll give you another one here.
Right.
So go to my iPad again. I want to show you this. So this is something here. This is Texas sees enough. So this is Newsweek. This was 6 days ago. Texas seizes enough fentanyl to kill everyone in America and Mexico, Jeremy. America and Mexico. Think about that. That's a lot of, that's the open borders. So, you open these borders. We'll go to the web. We'll go to this thing here. So this is a Newsweek article out of Newsweek, right? And this was published November 7th. And who was the article? Who was it written by? Can you Rodman? I don't know who this is. Billard Rodman.
Oh, Bilal Rahman.
So it says Texas has seized enough fentanyl in the last 3 years to kill every man, woman, and child in the United States and Mexico. Governor Abbott has announced that local law enforcement officials have over half a billion lethal doses of fentanyl since the launch of his flagship policy, Operation Lone Star. This is what now here's the thing, Jeremy. They knew this. I don't believe that they didn't know this. Listen, Trump, these 81 million people who voted for Biden.
Yeah.
We told you back then, this is what was going to happen. So, how complicit are they? All of a sudden now, they, thank God they voted, they saw the light. But now you've had how many thousands, hundreds of thousands of people in the United States, Democratic, Republican, young, old, die of drug overdoses. Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
More than killed in probably more than than the Civil War. And these idiots did this. What's that? That's the app?
I got the app on my phone now. I want to see if I can get into America.
Well, so yeah. So anyway, Operation Lone Star was that cost $11 million. But going on here,
but they got this situated nicely. You can travel by land, air, sea. Any which way you want to get into our country.
Yeah. Well,
they made it possible.
Right. Just yeah. Anyway, yeah. I wanted to go. I know that app. I mean that
was mind blowing.
This is the evidence now is coming out what they did. Yeah. Now the evidence here is now we have 3-4 years, and this is in addition to adding more. So you got, not only do you have narcotics coming into this country. You could go back to me, Jeremy. I want to show, this was a great article here. Not only did they put in a ton of drugs in this country, you have people who are coming in here. There's 400,000 that the government came out. I don't know if it was ICE or the Border Patrol, governmental Border Patrol said there's 400,000 people who were criminals. 15,000 were convicted of murder in their other countries, came here. They said, what do you, their records, or they said they were, convicted of murder, and we had to release them. Right. Because there's no mechanism to put them in jail, and we couldn't send them back. Right. Because Kamala Harris and Biden didn't want them to go back. You have roughly 15,000 people who committed and were charged and locked up for rape. Now, I don't know how many of these people are the same ones, but, murder, rape, you got 30,000 of them that we know of. Yeah, that we know. That ain't talking about how many we don't know of.
Just catch and release.
Double it. Now, you got people who got tuberculosis. You got people who have all kinds of other diseases. Now,
all kinds of shit they're coughing on us.
Well, here's the thing. No, but it's here. You can't have too many. So here's the thing. They had Abbott had a plane full of people. He flew from Texas up to Chicago, put a whole bunch of these illegals, put them on a plane. When they got to Chicago, the one lady was all upset and she had a seizure. She went to the hospital with her 3 kids. She has benign brain tumors. Supposedly, this is what the article said. And her son had leukemia. I feel bad for them. It's terrible. But how can we take care
for them too? Yeah.
But how much can we take care of?
They have their own countries.
Right. I was listening.
It's not up to us.
No.
It's not up to us to take care of absolutely everybody. Everybody, wherever you live, that's the country you live in, and that's the country that's meant to help you. If you're in a bad country, move and move legally. But
right. See, they abused the asylum. Biden. If you were persecuted, we have asylum here. These people were not persecuted. They came here for a better life. We understand that, but that's not the way it works. We allow a certain amount for better life. That's normal immigration. Maybe 1 million a year. I don't know what it is. My grandfather came here in immigration, normal immigration. He was legal, and he had a job waiting for him. And if you came here and you were sick, you were sent back. So let me just list one other thing.
And there's also a great number of these people who have come over that are living on the street. They're creating little tiny tent cities on different roads.
Right.
And it's so.
But most of them are getting welfare.
But
no, that's no. Who's living on the street is our American citizens. They're all getting cell phones. They're getting clothes. They're getting stipends. Yeah. So and they're getting medical care. I disagree with you on that one. Mm-hmm. The one who are on the streets are the veterans and the American citizens.
Oh, those two. No. I agree with
you.
They're
getting money.
But I'm saying also a lot of these people coming around across the country are creating their own little tent cities too.
Yes.
So it's not exactly making America look like it's paved in gold like it used to. Or the words the Statue of Liberty have written on her little tablet. Bring me your poor and your whatever.
No. Here's the thing: the United States is very generous. You cannot have so many people coming in at such a quick rate.
Overly generous.
So now here is, there was an interview with J.D. Vance, and the lady said to him, she goes, you're going to send out all these people. You're going to deport all these people, right? This is what she's saying, her premise. This is what the left's premise is. Follow me on this one. Yeah. You're going to send all these people out. Who's going to clean your lawns? Who's going to pick the vegetables? Who's going to do the bullshit work? And to me, that's a poor question. That premise is wrong, because here's the thing. You would rather bring people in and displace our workers. You say, United States workers can't work.
So
no, make it. Wait, stop.
You're bringing them in to create a new lower.
No, replace.
Right.
Why don't instead of doing that? I don't agree with that. I would say no. We don't need to. Why don't we make it in this country where people get a decent wage, and we encourage these people by training American citizens to do these jobs. There's no reason why American citizens can't be doing these jobs and getting paid very well.
To claim that this group is meant to do these type of jobs is racist.
Right. Well, she said that she goes, if you take these people away, who's going to build the houses? Who did the roofs and lay the concrete? So you know what J.D. Vance said? Oh, you're right. Because in the 60s, nobody was building the houses. We had nobody. You couldn't buy a house because we didn't have any illegals to build them. Really?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
My guy who cut my lawn,
massively racist.
Right. The guy who cut my lawn for 20 years was, a regular guy, a United States citizen.
That these people, this is all they're good to do, and there's no, and it's really not telling them that there's room to improve themselves or anything. No, you're here to flip our burgers, you're here to mow our lawns, to pick up our dog poop, and all these menial tasks that we ourselves do not want to do.
No,
in the
you're missing my point.
Party.
No, they're right. No, but what he's saying though, listen, you're missing my point here. Instead of their argument is a Kachmar, a Jeremy. These people need to come here because who's going to put the roofs on? Who's going to cut your lawn?
No.
American citizens should be doing that. We should encourage and have a program, have a government that encourages and helps for the American citizens to do those jobs.
We already have these citizens. So why do we need more?
Well, they want.
Because you're just going to put the citizens that we have that maybe they didn't want to go to college, maybe they didn't want to do this and that,
right.
And they've settled into their lives in these positions.
Right.
All you're doing is pushing them out of the workforce and bringing in all of these, illegals to take up the jobs for them.
Well, it also
that does not seem like a free America to me. That seems like you're just manipulating us, and for your own.
Well, they
agenda.
want it's cheap labor. It's a false premise. That's my point. Why don't we make it where American citizens could do these jobs and make it worthwhile for them? Back when Trump got in, you had a lot of American citizens, and they were blacks and Hispanic, making tons of money working on roofs because the money was there.
And they also want to work.
Right. There's a lot of people want to work. This is bullshit. If you can make enough money, right. Getting back to the, one of the things where it started was with NAFTA and Clinton, Bill Clinton. They sent a lot of shit. NAFTA was a disaster. And they sent everything down to Mexico and to China. Okay. I can tell you, I remember this. I had a friend who, he was making Tupperware. And he was involved in the Tupperware company in the United States. Yeah. Walmart hooked up with China. So Walmart became a huge conglomerate, which it is right now. And they came to his company and said, listen, we want you to move down to China because and we'll support you and we'll sell your Tupperware in our Walmart stores. Remember, this is when, the internet wasn't that big right yet. So the only place to sell your stuff was in a brick and mortar store. Right. So they had a monopoly. Yeah. So what they said to Tupperware, you got two choices. Either you go down and take your store, your plants out of here, which is people are going to lose jobs, and open them up in China. We'll support you, and then Walmart will make out because they'll sell the product cheaper because you have people making $3 a week, for salary, basically slavery. Right. Now, if you said no, they'd open up their own Tupperware place. Say, fine, we'll do it ourselves. Yeah, and then we'll undercut you. So they did that from one company to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. Okay, now that's one of the reasons why Trump's talking about tariffs because how do you stop that? Well, you tell Walmart or whoever's down in China, hey, you want to sell that shit here? We're going to tariff it. And then they're going to come to me and you and say, hey, Kachmar, Jeremy, open up a Tupperware plant. We're going to give you free energy. We're going to give you tax breaks. Yeah. Okay, we're going to deregulate it. We're going to take the regulations out of there. Okay, you're going to have good.
They're going to create.
You see what I'm saying?
They're going to create new possibilities in employment and career and jobs and buildings and businesses. That's our future. It feels like since Trump got back in, we're going to see some brighter days in the future.
Well, I'll tell you another one.
But you're right. You're right. What you said at the top of the show. These people are going to be found out. And if they're not running now, they freaking should.
So you got a guy who's going to be head of the Department of Defense, and he's going to gut it. He's going to get rid of the bloat. Hopefully, he will get rid of these generals. That we supposedly have
TV generals.
We have supposedly the officer corps is as many generals and colonels as we had in World War II, and we don't need them. Right. They're all getting paid big money. We have 2-3 million people in these governmental agencies. Think about this, Jeremy. You and I work. I become an electrician. I'm making money. I'm paying taxes. That money that I'm making because of labor. Okay, you work for the government. Yeah. You're on the government tit. You're not. Yeah. It's money, taxpayer money that you're getting. Which I don't begrudge anybody who works for the government. Don't get me wrong, but everybody can't work for the government because then there's no money coming from somewhere else. Yeah. And this idea that you could just print money, I tell you, Trump's going to have a rough time bringing this economy around. This is we're paying every 100 days. Every 100 days, we have to pay $1 trillion, which I can't even imagine what is, just on the debt. It's crazy right now. So it's crazy time.
When it was easy for Biden when he came in to undo a lot of what Trump put in. He just snapped his fingers and that was it. What? Trump was involved? Get it out of here. And now we're going to see how hard it is to rebuild after it's been taken and stripped down.
Right.
We're going to see the real consequences of what they did 3.5 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Isn't it?
I mean, we've seen the other bigger consequences, but to get it back, see, this is why you don't dismantle things. If it ain't broke, you don't fix it. If it's looking good for your country, just because there's a name attached to it that you don't like, you don't dismantle it.
Yeah, I know. So I'm just looking here at I want to go. So I want to go. I'm going to go. I like this YouTube because we can go to YouTube. Go to my iPad. I think this is pretty neat. I want to talk about this because this is So this is somebody from New Jersey. This is JoJo. She puts down here.
Oh, you're in the comments here.
Yeah. So this one guy here, Trump has picked the person Hillary Clinton called a Russian asset, Tulsi Gabbard, as director of national intelligence. What could possibly go wrong? Again, these people are toxic. She's not a Russian asset. There's another one in here, too, I was reading
Honestly,
here.
Hillary Clinton doesn't know what the F is going on in Russia. All she knows that she can do is blame everybody colluding them with them.
Yeah. So there's one here that's people here. I was trying to find this one here that you could go back to me. Yeah. Let me find it. So I just want to do a couple things here. And people are like losing their mind. The people are sitting here saying that that people now are not going to go to their Thanksgiving dinners because if you voted for Trump, you're a traitor, and they're not going to allow you to come to their dinner. What's that all about? Isn't that's so, wait, like I don't care if you voted for Biden. If you voted for Biden, I did not tell you you could come to my Thanksgiving.
If that's the case, are those same Democrats okay? Right. Not going to celebrate Christmas because Kamala Harris told them not to, and how ashamed they should be for celebrating. You heard about that, right?
Yeah. So what's that?
She was on the stage telling how ashamed you must be for celebrating Christmas when other people are like that. You do not celebrate Christmas, and if that's the case, I want all the Democrats to listen to that because that's their pick, telling them holidays suck and you don't have the right to them.
Yeah.
That's the president we would have gotten in, though, and I hope people start to really see that. A woman that can destabilize the happiest holiday of the year, okay?
Right.
Her heart grew or shrank 2 sizes too small after saying that. She is literally the Grinch who stole Christmas.
Yeah. Well, it's hard. It is kind of crazy when you think about it. And let me just here. So this is a great one here. Go to this is a congressman ripping. So here's the interesting thing. So this is Representative Jason Crow, Crow. Yep. So Pete, this is the individual who for secondary defense, right? Oh. And so what are you doing, Jeremy?
Just checking this.
No, don't touch anything. Don't.
I was checking to see if we're streaming.
No, don't worry about it. We did it already. We're good. Please don't do that. And what's happening now is that so now they're saying here that he is not qualified to be Secretary of Defense. So it says Secretary of Defense makes life and death decisions daily that impact our 2 million troops around the globe. This is not an entry-level TV commentator job. The Senate should do its job and deny his nomination. So I listened to this. This guy, Pete, how do you pronounce his name here? Hegseth, Hegseth. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name correctly. I don't want to kill it. So you can go back to me. He was on the Sean Ryan podcast. I listened to him. This guy has fought in the wars. He is a battle. He fought. A lot of these generals and military people never been in battle. That's number one. Number two, they don't want him in there because he's going to get rid of these people. He's going to deflate. I'm telling you, Jeremy, stay away from that thing.
Stop it.
I know, but if you keep, he is going to gut the military of the officer corps, and they're shit scared about that. And that's what they don't want him in there. Right. And here's the thing: what I say to this representative, he's a congressman now, right? And he has an opinion, but the American public voted for this. This is what they want. Yeah. And so, majority of the American public want this. So why do you fight it? And he's unqualified on what grounds? Come on, really. So he fought in war. He's a veteran. He wants to help the veterans. He's more for the veterans than for the establishment. He wants to get good care for them. So to me, I think the veterans in this country should rise up and support him and talk to these congressmen and senators and tell them what their feelings are. because I want to remind all of these representatives, you guys work for us. You know, we hired you guys. Right. And it's nice. It's a representative republic, and you could have your opinion, but, you know, there's a mandate. And I don't see how, you know, they're going to fight these things. And this is just going to create more, what's the word? Divisionness, the divisiveness in this country. Anyway, so I thought that was pretty wild, you know. So did you hear anything about that? Did you have any feelings on it?
Not at all. Didn't even know.
You didn't know that?
I'm just so overwhelmed by everything that's going on, you know. It's great days ahead, but also tough days ahead, you know.
So tell me
it
what...
It depends upon how you see it. Like, they're going to be, you know, Trump's dismantling things, but then you've got their side, and how are they going to tear him apart by little thing he does. And if you take something apart and it looks good, they're going to show you the bad. Well, I mean, that's what they've done forever. It's their playbook. I really hope people just give him a chance to be the president that we need this time around. But these people, I mean, just going by their TikTok explosions.
Right.
These are. I mean, let's talk about mental health for a second. These people are not right. If they can flip out and do that, they need to see some help, because that is not a normal way to be. If you're screaming in your car after carefully setting up your telephone and making sure you look good, and then press record, and then all of a sudden you're screaming because you need them to see this so you can get your views or whatever, that's bullshit. And what you're doing is you're creating that kind of shared experience with everybody else. So everybody else feels the need to go on TikTok, lose their minds. And is it really real, though, if you've got to film yourself doing it? Mostly, to me, emotions come up suddenly, and then you either cry or you know, whatever. You don't plan a camera crew.
Right,
you know?
Right. Well, I want to. No, you're absolutely. I want to go a couple things here, because this is pretty interesting. I love going on X, you know, because it's open now.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff here. And so this guy, J.P. Pritzker, you know, he's the governor. He says here, I've said it once and I'll say it again: no attempt to restrict the freedoms and opportunities of people in Illinois will be tolerated. I defended the rights of for the past 6 years and will continue to do so in Trump's second term. I don't know what he meant. He was just knocked down with his anti-Second Amendment. He's trying to reduce or take away your Second Amendment rights, and the Supreme Court just knocked him down. Yeah. And but I think the borders don't going to give a shit if, you know, they're going to go in there and take these illegals out.
He's going to be ruthless.
So he's going to be ruthless.
Ruthless, yeah.
And the other thing here is interesting. You know, here's
which I have to admit is needed, unfortunately. Right. I wish all the best for these people. I hope they all find a home, you know, preferably in their own countries.
Yeah, go to my iPad. I love this here. I just want to talk about these few things before we get out of here.
Yeah. Okay. iPad.
Yeah. So.
Oh, she's nice to look at.
Jeremy, please don't go into the.
I can't help it sometimes.
I know. Just keep it. Yeah, but if you just so you know,
nobody can see it.
No, you're knocking me out here. Just so you know, when you go into my iPad when I'm up here, you knock me out.
Right. This
okay?
is all on the show.
I understand, but I can't. I got to tell you. So you know, it's never going to end. Anyway, this is a thing here by Sissy Spacek. I don't know if it's really her. So she's a Russian spy. You dipshits. This is Tulsi Gabbard, who was a Democrat. She was going to be their head of their National Democratic Party. Okay, and they were grooming her for that. And she got disillusioned with the Democratic Party, and she became an independent. Now she's a Republican. All of a sudden now, they're calling her a Russian asset. Come on, a Russian spy? Really? She's a patriot. She was in the military. I don't understand these people. You know, this is why this country's so fucked, because you got people who are calling this woman a Russian spy. This is a true patriot. She would have gave her life to this country. She almost, you know, I mean, so this is crazy stuff, you know. And I just can't. This is what gets me going in this country. And here now, they're going after the Secretary of Defense. This guy is a real soldier. Look at him here. He's a real soldier. He cares about people. And you know what? You know what else about him? He's a Christian. He's a man. He believes in Jesus Christ. What do you think about that? Yeah. And maybe that's another reason why they don't want him. You know what? I said, I know this guy here, Brian. I follow him. Yeah, that's real nice. Keep on going, people. You really want to win another election? Keep on calling the American public idiots. Keep on telling us that we're making that Trump is making the poor decisions. You won't win in 2028. Oh, by the way, did you hear? You could go back to me. Did you hear they were gonna run? People are talking about running AOC for president. I'm like, good luck on that. You go back to me, Jeremy. I'm like, go back to go. That'll be great. That'll be real good.
See, look at this. This little picture here appears for no reason.
You just get rid of it, yeah. And I'm just telling you, this is the vitriol that's on X. It's amazing, and I don't think you follow it, but you should see what's out there. They're just attacking everything that this guy wants to do. He had a mandate, so now they can't say it's not a mandate. He didn't, and he had the popular vote. When are they gonna let him do something? When are they gonna let the American public do what they want? You got people here. I don't know what that's.
Yeah, they're not. Nothing. It's spam.
Mm. Yeah. So anyway, it goes on and on, Jerry. But I love these people. What do you think about these people who are now saying, you voted for Trump, you can't come to my Thanksgiving dinner? Or, your brother tells you or whoever that they hate you. And
what would I say? I'd be like, good, your dinner's probably going to be shit. And, go live with yourselves. That's it. All you have are yourselves. And look at the mess look at yourselves online. Look at yourselves on TikTok, on YouTube. Look at what you're doing and how you're responding and acting to things.
Listen, go back to the iPad again. Go back.
People are. I hate to use the term "you people," but you guys are out of your minds.
Right. So here goes this one here, Matt Murphy. I hate every Trump voter with every fiber of my being. Why? I don't hate Barack Obama. I don't hate Biden. I don't hate the people who voted for Biden.
This is the thing. This is what happens when you take something as crucial as Christianity out of government. You get these people who hate.
Here's this guy,
and these are the same people that were calling us the haters.
Yeah, here's this guy, Stephen Schmidt. I don't know who he is. The Warning with Steve Schmidt. So he's some podcast or whatever. He puts down here, the Trump cabinet is a freak show. No words can properly describe this toxic menagerie of unfitness. I mean, these people, I guess they just want to get clicks, and maybe they're not even real people. Maybe this is AI, I don't know. I'm real. I'm here right now. I'm real. And so it says, oh my God, Donald Trump just nominated Matt Gaetz to be the next Attorney General. Great. He's a smart guy. You don't like his politics, but he's smart. Listen, if you put Hillary Clinton as president, I could appreciate that. She's smart. I wouldn't vote for her, but she maybe even Barack Obama's Michelle Obama. But the person they put up was dumb. Put somebody who's smart, Matt Gaetz. But the next secretary. I'm straight up just saying we would not have women in combat roles. So what's wrong with that? You want your women to be out in the front lines? I mean, they're just going off on a tangent. But it's look at this. Not my president. Remember to starting this shit again? Well, I tell everybody it is your president.
What flag is that above mine?
I don't know.
Because that's not an American flag, is it? It's not. It's red, white, and blue, not white, blue, and red.
I'm just looking at these here. So it says, "Who thinks Ian Musk?"
Wait, is that their live sit down? Was that televised?
Yeah, it was. It's like 2 minutes. He shook hands. They said hello and goodbye, and that was it. Nothing went on there.
Oh yeah, because you had to run to the bathroom there, Biden.
No. Don't. Again, we're just saying.
You can say.
No. He was fine.
Speech is back.
No, there was nothing there. He didn't say anything. So here's this is another one. Who thinks Ian Musk used the internet provider Starlink to steal the 2024 election? Oh, are you election denier? Now, what I say to these people, what's this lady here? Flux, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
In 2020, you couldn't say that on the internet. We'd be taken off, right? X would take us off. Remember, Jeremy?
Yeah.
So what she's saying right now, thank you. You are allowed to say this. You are allowed to say that Elon Musk used the internet provider Starlink to steal asking the question. 2020, X would not let you even ask that question. You would have been censored and taken off.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, look at the other thing. Oh my God, Matt Gates, is that it? For AG. What's AG?
What do you call it?
Wait,
Attorney General. Attorney General. I'm sorry. Where was it? Attorney General.
Right there. Attorney General. This guy is literally under investigation by his own party for having sex with minors. Holy effing shit, she writes.
Yeah, that was that.
But that's like that. I mean, that's libel.
It is. It is. That's bullshit. So they just can't handle it. I love these things here. So 2024. Understand how 4 years will impact your. I'm trying to look here. The biggest threat to the world is not illegal immigration. It's white supremacy. Listen to this one. This is a great one. I wanted to bring this up. The biggest threat to the world is not illegal immigration. It's white supremacy. So, like the world. So, like in India, is white supremacy a threat to India? Is it a threat to China?
I love when it's these white people who are posting this stuff.
Who? Where?
So wait. Are you posting that so you can tell everybody you're outside of the white? You know, I'm a different shade of gray. I'm not white. Back the frick off.
Well, a lot of
not a supremacist.
A lot of non-whites voted for Trump. I like this one. This is right off the bat here. This is pretty good, though. Here you go. Matt Gates is a douche. So bad. Just a douche. That's okay. That's like high school stuff.
That shit I would say
Jeremy,
when I was a kid,
high school. Jeremy's a douche. He's a douche.
Yeah.
He's just a douche. That's all. You like that?
Yeah.
I love these things. I love this stuff here. So Pritzker, he's against, that guy goes against the Second Amendment. And, so here it is, MAGA cult losing their minds over some of these appointments, realizing they were canned by Trump. Okay, that's, felon. This is all stuff. I'm looking, I can't, Tulsi Gabbard she's a superstar. Yeah. Superstar.
She's gorgeous too.
Yeah. And the secretary, this guy right here, I want this guy to be Secretary of Defense. You know what I want? I want him to back me up. Or if bad guys run into my house, or we got to take a hill, that's the guy I want next to me.
Yeah.
Right,
With a shirt on.
No, but you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's the guy who is going to protect you. This is what, he's the best of the best.
If you're hefting a full-size American flag on your shoulder and walking around, where is that, New York?
Yeah.
Going to the monuments and stuff, and you're showing off your patriotic tattoos as you do. That's a true American. Come on.
Yeah, here's a real joke right here. That governor. So I'm just trying to see here. Oh, here's Elizabeth Warren. Now, is she an Indian of descent?
Who knows?
Who knows? We don't know, right? So let's see what she has to say.
Indians
Trump won the election,
nowadays.
but more than 72 million people voted for Democrats, and they don't accept us to roll over and play dead. Okay. I thought this is democracy. I thought he won the popular vote. She's always talking about the end of democracy. Well, so you don't want it? Now it's democracy, and he won with a Democratic majority.
It's not the democracy she meant.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
oh, I'm so confused.
No.
But so so it says we will have a peaceful transition of power followed by a vigorous challenging from the party out of power, because that's how democracy. Okay, good. Have a vigorous thing.
Right.
This guy, I don't want to talk about this guy.
I'm gonna gently look at the time.
Okay, it's 4. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. We could end it soon. So I'm just I just love looking at these things. So,
Daily Wire.
Barbara Streisand. Let's see what she has. She's leaving? I thought she's leaving. A blame game among Democrats will not solve anything now. Instead, they might fight with a singular voice that Trump administration and the GOP plans to impose elements of the authoritarian Project 2025 on our democracy.
So on about that Project 2025.
Well, you know what? I tell you what. Somebody just sent it to me, and I read it.
Yeah.
People, before they say it, they should read it. There's a lot of good things in there that make sense. I hate to tell you, but here's the thing. I thought she's leaving. Why is she still? First of all, why is she still on X?
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying.
There's a new one called Blue Sky. I think they were going to go to.
Comment on that and say leave already.
No. I thought she said she was going to leave.
She did. She made a whole television announcement about it.
Yeah, yeah. So we're replacing a former four-star general as defense secretary with the weekend co-host of Fox and Friends. Well, how about this, Chris Jackson?
You can't even.
When's the last time we won a war? Afghanistan was a
Right.
disgrace. Iraq and Afghanistan. Keep on going and going and going. Somalia. Harris went there to try to stop the war in Israel, and the day after, you had October 7th. Putin invaded while he was. So what? How about we try somebody different? It can't be any worse. We're on the verge of World War III. We got two hot wars, and you're telling me, okay.
Barbara Streisand was supposed to flee to England. She said, England is where she will go, and you know what? She's welcome to. I want to see all of these people, and these are Democrats. Keep their promises. If you're going to leave, leave. Get out. Whoopi Goldberg was supposed to leave last time. She stayed and never shut up.
Put me back on, Jeremy. Yeah. So Whoopi Goldberg. So I was listening to her on the internet, and
it's tough, Mike. It's not me.
She there you go. Yeah. She was in. So they had a in The View. She was talking about how she understands that everybody has to work for a living, and maybe one of the reasons people didn't vote for Harris is because they're hurting financially. And then she goes on saying how she's a working woman, and she has to work on The View. She gets $8 million a year, by the way, and she's worth about $60 million. So I just want to give you a heads up on that. And so, that's pretty crazy. So anyway.
That's better.
Why is that better for you?
It doesn't happen now.
Okay.
We don't need it up.
So anyway, so that's something that, so she's so out of touch with reality. She's worth $60 million. She's making $8 million on The View, right? But she describes herself as a hard, she's working, yeah. But there's people who don't have enough money to put food on the table.
Who is this specifically?
Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg, yeah. She is a. She doesn't even. I don't even think she listens to half the shit she says. I remember that whole thing where she was saying that the Holocaust never happened, or World War. The Holocaust was about, or World War II was about racism, not about the Jews, and like that, because she needs to compare it to something that's that she's gone through in her life and stuff.
Right.
No.
Right.
You have nothing to do with it, Whoopi.
Go back to
leave the Jews alone.
Yeah, go back to the iPad. I'm going to say something. I'd be very sensitive how I say this, and I want to say this. Go back to my iPad.
Yeah, I'm going back to it.
So here's an interesting thing. So this is breaking news. So this is J.B. Pritzker. So he's the governor of Illinois. All right, just announced that he is aggressively going to push back. I don't know what that means. Push back on Donald Trump's plans to use red state National Guard troops to invade blue states and force deportations. This is how it's done. Now, just think about the ramifications here, okay? Mm-hmm. Let's go back to Salma.
This chubby guy was saying it?
He's the governor of Illinois.
Oh, shit.
He said, Trump is talking about, let me just go again. This is important. Follow this, okay? Mm-hmm. J.D. Pritzker just announced that he is aggressively going to push back on Donald Trump's plans to use red state, which is not his state. His state is a blue state. You understand? Mm-hmm. Red state National Guard troops to invade blue states and force deportations. This is how it's done. First of all, I don't know if that's blue states, red states. Here now, I'll give you a thing from history, which this kind of reminds me of that. Selma, Alabama. Okay, George Wallace. He did a famous speech. He said, segregation then, segregation now, segregation forever. And the law of the land was to segregate children, that black children had to go into, could not be segregated, desegregation, excuse me. So he said desegregation. So notice he wanted segregation. He wanted to have white kids in a white school, black kids in a black school. You follow me so far? Mm-hmm. John F. Kennedy and Robert Kennedy, who was Attorney General, said no. And they brought federal troops into Alabama to escort the kids into the schools. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is different, but it's the same. These people here are illegal. So I don't. So is this governor saying that he's not going to allow, well, he can't do anything about it, but if Trump puts in federal troops into a state that has illegal aliens that are criminals to deport them.
Now that'll be run.
Think about that.
Will that be run by the border czar?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, but here's the thing, though. You're talking about, you understand, you have federal troops, you have state troops, you have National Guard. National Guards are with the states.
Yeah.
So this is really interesting. So this is going to, now I said this many times. Go back to me, Jeremy. I said this many times. This is going to turn into a fight of the states. The states are going to rebel one way or the other. If she won, a lot of states would not go with the thing she passed. Let's just say that they passed an abortion, where abortion on demand, and that's the law of the land. No matter what state you are, you had to follow that. How many states would have been saying, no, we're not going to do that? Okay, so now what you have is this state here, and again, I don't trust this guy because he's an anti-Second Amendment, which to me is very dangerous, and a First Amendment. I don't know how, I don't know if he's about this disinformation or anything, but it's starting now. So now this is where the battleground. The left is going to make a stand, mark my words, on this issue, this deportation issue. And already you're going to have states going to say no. Now, I don't know about New York City, and he may be an outliner. I don't know. But it kind of reminds me of what went down in Alabama. And I don't know if you know what happened. The troops went down there, and they forced the kids. It's a very famous scene. The federal troops were there, and with guns and everything, and the black girls went into the school. So, I mean, it's crazy. This is where we're going in this country. Now, how about this governor understanding that the American public wants this? They want these people out of here. And instead of being rhetoric like this and going off on a tangent, how about you say, no, we're going to work with Trump, try to be humane, and that we understand the American public what they want. Same thing with the Second Amendment, They don't give a shit. They're going to take, God, we have the Second Amendment, our rights to protect ourselves. So again, thank God Trump won, because this is bad enough. So this is going to be interesting to watch, the pushback, because the guy who's going to running the Department of who's going to be the immigration czar, he's tough.
Yeah.
So what do you
think? You just look at him. Just look at that guy and hear him talk. I don't want him talking to me. I'll piss myself. He's a tough bastard, that guy. And just what we need, I think.
Well, here's the thing. I'll leave you with this. This is interesting. Chuck Schumer just put this out. Remember, Chuck Schumer is the guy who said to Trump, the special, the intelligence agency has 7 ways to Sunday to go after you. And also he said, when they got what was his name, the Supreme Court Justice, Pete. What's his name, Jeremy? Help me out here. Kavanaugh. He said, you've unleashed a whirlwind, So now he's saying, this is what he's saying. I offer a word of caution. This is Chuck Schumer. I offer a word of caution in good faith. Take care not to misread the will of the people, and do not abandon the need for bipartisanship. After winning an election, the temptation may be to go to the extreme. It's consistently backfired on the party in power. So did it backfire on him? I guess so. So he's talking from experience then. So in other words, is he saying there that the Democratic Party went way too far to the left and it backfired? And be cautious, don't do the same thing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think that's some sound advice. You guys went to the extreme, and maybe and hopefully that Trump's administration won't go to the extreme. Here's what I think what we all want. This is what the American public, everybody wants, I think. Peace, prosperity, peace, liberty, right? And justice. We need justice in this country.
We need to feel like sovereign citizens again.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a good point, sir.
And like I've said in the past, I never wanted to have to think or think so hard to feel proud of my country. Ever since Trump won, and it was a hell of a battle, a big brouhaha, I feel like that's a possibility now. I can be proud of my country again. and I have so much high hopes for our future.
Well, I do, you know.
Yeah.
And I can tell you right now, I think that what we need to do is, key down the rhetoric. Okay.
Yeah.
Both sides have a tendency. I mean, over the years, have overreacted. We should have no violence. There should be a what's the word I want to use? A peaceful transfer of power. The Senate right now is going to have to vet all of these people that Trump wants to put through. Okay, so the system's going to work, and whether or not this guy is qualified, we'll find out. But why don't we give it a chance instead of right off the bat? He's the worst guy. Why? Watch Sean. Why don't you watch the 2-hour interview with Sean Ryan with this individual, and for the Secretary of Defense. Yeah. My point is that we need to let the process go. I think the American public. I'm very optimistic because it wasn't just all whites. It wasn't just all blacks. I mean, the Hispanics really came out. A lot of the blacks, but the American public came out, and I think they completely rejected.
Supremacists of all colors.
Right. They rejected democratic socialist communism.
Yeah.
That's what they rejected. Right. And those policies, they rejected it. And you know what? The midterm elections are coming up. If you're so pissed off, get out there and vote, and you could take over the House. And the Democrats could take over the House. And then you could, stymie a lot of what Trump's going to do. Yeah. And then you got 2028.
You can only say something shit for so long until the smell just wafts you over.
Right.
Bowls you over. I mean, the American people have seen that. They've seen it stack up over the last few years.
Yeah.
They were unsure about Biden until he switched out, and before he switched out, they didn't like Kamala either.
No.
So what are you arguing about?
No.
Now they're blaming each other and why did he drop out or who talked to him? Lick your wounds, folks. It's done with, and you lost.
Right. And I tell you, to me, don't. You got to stop this thing about I hate people and I can't. I'm not going to go to their dinner, and that's just ridiculous. I don't.
It's only going to hurt you. You're the one that's going to lose out.
Well, what about all these women? This B. We got to get out of here. But what about these women with the B2 4B? They're not going to have sex. They're not going to date men anymore.
Oh, they have to leave their husbands. They have to shave their heads bald.
No, they're not going to leave. They're not going to have sex until they get married, which is actually good.
Yeah. No,
they're not going to be sluts.
The ones that are currently married, they have to shave their heads bald and leave their husbands. That's not a joke.
All right, Jeremy.
And the girls were standing up in crowds, cutting their hair off and shaving it off. It was mental.
Well, the ones I've seen, what they were saying is they're going to stop having random sex, or they're going to be monogamous, and they're going to have sex until they get married.
Yeah, that's what we need. Is these people walking around all uptight?
No, because then they won't have abortions. Exactly what we wanted, and they're not going to have and they might even go to church. So they're going to actually turn into conservatives.
How about having sex responsibly?
Well, that's what they're saying. They're not going to have sex anymore. So they're not going to have
more responsible than that.
Right. So in other words, actually, what they're doing is exactly what the conservatives wanted. Anyway, Jeremy. So just can you put up Jersey Shore Foot and Leg where to get a hold of us? It's right up there. It's the fourth one down.
Yeah, I see it.
So anyway, if anybody wants to get a hold of us, we're at Jersey Shore Foot and Leg Center.com. And
Jersey Shore.
Right there, Jeremy.
Right here.
Yeah, you got to hit that. All right. Anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in.
Sure, and for more information about Dr. Michael Kachmar, you can check us out on our Facebook page where we archive a lot of our shows as well as everywhere else on the internet. So check us out, folks, and please share and subscribe.
All right. Thank you.
Take care,
Thank you very
guys.
much. Take care. Finish it up, Jeremy.
All right.